Welcome back to Literature with Daniel. This is my fourth episode about Canto 3. Now, Canto 3 is by far one of the most interesting cantos of Dante. In this canto, you find the gates of hell. You find the people who are neither in hell and they're not in heaven, but they're still being tortured. There are people who are opportunists. They're not fit for limbo, they're not fit for hell, they're not fit for heaven, they're not fit for purgatory. They're just non-existent, but they're technically in hell. Then you find all the souls that are screaming and plagiarizing. Well, actually, there's no screaming yet. That's in, I believe, Canto 5. But when he actually gets into hell. But anyway, for the time being, he's at the gates of hell. So he enters hell. He sees all these opportunists who are basically like, have you ever taken your U.S. history fence sitters? They're just people who sat on the fence and they wouldn't take the side of King George, or they wouldn't take the side of the Americans, and so they're like, oh, well, we're going to be in the middle. They were all fence sitters for their own reasons. Anywhere from, I'm going to choose the side that helps me most. So I'm going to be on the side of my brother whenever it fits my needs, or I'm going to be on the side of my, potter. Because, hey, I need pots, and I'll be against my brother now because, hey, my potter is giving me a better deal. People who are like that, and everyone's done it. Well, almost everyone. Or, if you don't think you have, you probably have and not realized. Anyway. So, we're Canto 3. So, after he sees all these people, he then sees Charon, or Charon. Charon. He's in the Aeneid, I believe. No, Greek mythology. He is the guy who ferries the dead into the underworld, and since hell is technically the underworld, it's fitting. But I'm going to give you a quote about. So first off, I'm going to open this book. Let's see. Oh no, that's Canto 7. Maybe a bit back. That's Canto 5. That will come into play later, that little map. Canto 3. So, Canto 3. Let's see what it says. It says, so, Canto 3 opens up not in the perspective of Dante, it's just literally what's written on the top of the gates of hell. So, when it starts, it says, I am the way into the city of woe. I am the way to a forsaken people. I am the way into eternal sorrow. Sacred justice moved my architect. I was raised here by divine omnipotence, primordial love, and ultimate intellect. Only those elements time cannot wear were made before me, and beyond time I stand. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. He then goes on to ask Dante, what do those words mean? Dante never really truly tells him, except, get your courage, we're going to hell now, because we found the gates. One thing, I have nothing against John Ciardi. I would say he was a brilliant translator because he translated the entire Divine Comedy. I don't like his translation of that, though. So I went ahead for you. And because you probably never read Divine Comedy, but now I hope you do hope to read it, but I found the original Italian for Divine Comedy, and I translated it. Literally. So, it rhymes, though, because, like I said, it's a poem. It's supposed to rhyme by terza rima. Terza rima is A-B-A, B-C-B, and then repeat. So it just keeps repeating on and on and on, but in the translation, he does try his best, but he doesn't really do it. So I'm going to read you the Italian. Do keep in mind, my Italian is bad. So, this is me trying to do my best. Okay. Per mi si vanne la cita dolente, per mi si vanne l'eterno dolor, per mi si vatra la perdotte gente, giustizia mosse il mio autofattore, fessimi la divina potestate, la somma sapienza, il primo amor, dinanzi a mi non fuer, close crete, le non eterne, e io eterno d'oro, le siete ogni speranza, voi che entrate. That's the original Italian. Don't judge me on my Italian. This is the first time I've read an entire Italian thing that's 3 stanzas long, so 3 paragraphs long. Also, it all rhymed if you had paid attention. Dolente, and then you have gente, so dolente, gente, they rhyme, so it's dolente, dolor, gente, and then you have fattore, which rhymes with dolor, and then you have pestate, amor, crete. I'm not sure how potestate and crete. Oh, it does rhyme. And then you have doro, entrate. So crete, entrate, it all rhymes. When you translate this literally, you actually get a feeling of pride. You can hear, so to speak, that pride that is on those words. So when I translated it, I just kind of fit them all in a way that hopefully made sense. So this is what I translated as. It will not... Oh, there's a nice wind. Anyway, sorry if that blocks out your hearing a bit, but when I translated this, it's not going to rhyme. Don't expect it to rhyme. This is a literal translation of Dante, just kind of put to pieces. So it's through me one goes into the sorrowful city. Makes sense. That's what we just read. Through me one goes into eternal pain. Through me one goes among the lost people. Lost people. When you go to hell, you're technically lost forever, because that was your choice. So you're lost. Justice moved my high maker, made me the divine power, the supreme wisdom, and the first love. This is a bit prideful because I'm not entirely sure if Lucifer was the very first being that God ever created. Lucifer's another name for the devil, by the way, if you didn't know. So I'm not sure if... I know it's a fictional story. Dante meant it to be a fictional poem, but I don't know. Seems a bit odd. But it is somewhat prideful. And then you have, before me nothing was created. Again, coming to the first thing that was like supreme wisdom, first love, or not, whatever. And then he says, except for eternal things, and I am eternal. So, before me nothing was created except for eternal things, and I am eternal. So, nothing on earth was created before Lucifer was created, except for some eternal things, which I guess makes a bit of sense. And then he says, and then it's, abandon all hope, you who enter. Boom. Abandon all hope, you who enter. That's possibly the most famous lines of the Inferno, of possibly the entire Divine Comedy, because everyone's like, oh, abandon all hope. That's relatable. Somehow. Who knows? So, Dante, he sees this. He's like, oh, dang, I have to reevaluate my life choices. Why did I choose to come here? But then Virgil's like, get your courage back, you coward. And Dante's like, oh, okay, fine. And then they go ahead. They enter. When they enter, as I said in the beginning, he sees these tormented souls. They're being stung by wasps and bees and gnats and hornets. And their blood and gore, and I don't want to say too much because then you guys might not like me, but let's just say that the worms on the floors eat their blood and other flesh. But they're always regenerating, so they're in eternal pain, basically as hell. But that's not the worst punishment, really. And they're forever trying to chase a banner that's blank. That emphasizes that they never chose a side. Thus, also Christ said, "If you're lukewarm, I will spit you out." So, as you see, lukewarm people, they were neither for each side. They were neither hot nor warm. So, no hot nor cold. So Christ just spat them out. Put them into hell. Dante cannot bear to see these souls in anguish because, well, he's human, and so are we. So, for sure, even if you're a pretty disagreeable guy and you would say, like, even they deserved it, you would still have some pity for them because we're all human. We all pity everyone, especially if we can have empathy toward that individual. We can understand their side of the story. But even then, you don't have to believe that what they did was right. So, Dante, he goes past these people because there's no one really there that he recognizes. Well, actually, this is the first time you can see some of his political enemies. He sees, like, I think it was 2 individuals. I don't remember their names. I'll leave it in the description. But he just sees those 2 people and he's like, "Whoa! I thought they were my enemies, but no, wait, they're also my friends. Wait, what?" But yeah, because they were opportunists. That's not even a first circle of hell. This is somewhat out of the border of hell, by the way. Then he sees the farrier, Charon, and then he gets on the boat. And Virgil's like, "Have your courage." Then Dante's like, "I think I have my courage. I think I have my courage." And then they finally end. So if this was a border, they finally enter into hell. And as soon as they enter, Dante hears screams of anguish, hatred, and any evil thing you can think of. And he's so overcome by his fear that he just swoons and passes out. You will find out that Dante likes to swoon a lot in Inferno and Purgatorio. Never in Paradiso. And that's the end of the 3rd canto. This video was more of a longer video, but if you watched all the way to the end, I thank you very much. And have a nice day and good evening.